Imagine joining an organization that lost its number one option in free agency, filling that said void, helping your team make the playoffs, and winning a playoff series against three future Hall of Famers in Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony in just your rookie season. Well, Donovan Mitchell did that, among many other things that people could only dream of. For one, he's dropped 71 points in an NBA game, rallying his team from a 21-point deficit while being down his next two offensive options in Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. Mind you, he shot 65% from the field in that game, had the most assists ever in a 70-point outing at 11, and nearly had the first 70 points triple-double. Secondly, he's an all-time great playoff riser who's had to carry the offensive load for his teams. And lastly, he's one of the most dynamic scorers we have in today's game. In this video, we're going to discuss what Donovan Mitchell does well on the court, as well as his playoff exploits, because it feels like he doesn't get talked about enough. Before we begin, be sure to leave a like, as that makes a massive difference for the channel, and sub for more content like this. Since his days in Utah, Donovan Mitchell has been at least an all-star caliber player who is an elite number one option and is an absolute nightmare to guard because he can beat you in almost every way. Mitchell is one of the most explosive and shifty guards in the league, continuously putting you on her toes, and with a 6'10" wingspan, plays much larger than his size. He has a very tight handle paired with incredible acceleration-deceleration ability and an explosive first step, meaning that he's extremely difficult to stay in front of. You can try, but you're more than likely a step too slow. And he has a deadly snatchback and between the legs crossover, sham gods, in and out dribbles, hesitations, counters, and even a high pickup that he uses to evade defenders. Some of these guys even get lost. A 6'2" guard with just a normal wingspan for his size more than likely can't do this. However, Mitchell with a 6'10" wingspan can. Talking about a sham god, Mitchell executes this move as well as anyone in the league, and it's completely filthy. If he has a head of steam to the rim and hits you with one of these, you're probably getting spun around and can't keep up with him as he's barreling to the rim in transition, or he's created so much separation on a pull-up jumper that you can't really get a contest on the shot. If he does this to you in the half court, even if you have the length to your advantage as a defender, he's still going to create a crazy amount of space for him to hit pull-up jumpers. And that's the thing, Mitchell has mastered the ability to create space, and his threat as a driver greatly aids him in this. He can get by his defenders with ease, and as a respectable driver to the rim, he can sell that drive and gain a great deal of separation through those aforementioned snatchbacks. His in and out dribble throws people off balance, sidestep threes are part of his arsenal, and he can stop on a dime and rise up for the jumper. Spida has exceptional footwork, and on drives, he'll spin off of you en route to the rim and Eurostep around defenders in the paint. He can hit floaters and runners, and his acrobatic ability helps him be one of the better guard finishers in the league. With incredible strength, body control, and hang time, he not only can get off acrobatic finishes, but can finish well through contact. He's a fearless finisher at the rim who will relentlessly attack. He's baptized many big men in the league, and he's even a lob target in transition. Another thing to note about Donovan Mitchell is that he thrives in pick and roll situations, having one of the highest frequencies as a pick and roll ball handler in the league at 41.7%, placing in the 83rd percentile as a pick and roll ball handler, scoring the 7th most points per game in those situations at 9.5, and being capable of facilitating in these situations. Mitchell's playmaking has always been an underrated trait of his over the years, as his scoring prowess greatly overshadowed his ability to read defenses and dish out some extraordinary passes. He can feed the roller, he has good vision on drive and kick opportunities or dump offs in the paint, he is a playmaker in transition, and does a great job of finding players that are open around the perimeter and those moving off the ball. With the variety of passes that he can make, he's one of the best playmakers at the shooting guard position, if not the best outside of Devin Booker. Since being in Cleveland, Mitchell has tied or shattered records for the franchise, including having the most 40-point games in a single Cavs season, and he's led the Cavs to a top 4 seed in the East each season. He even helped lead the Cavs to 64 wins this past season. However, the mark of a true superstar is the ability to perform in the playoffs, and Spida has shown up to the occasion just like some of the greatest to ever play the game. He averages 28, 5, and 5 in his playoff career, has the 7th highest points per game in playoff history, broke Michael Jordan's long-standing record for most consecutive 30-point outings in Game 1s, became the first Cavs since 2016 LeBron James to have back-to-back playoff 40-point games, and has genuinely been a one-man army at times in the NBA playoffs. As discussed before, Mitchell as a rookie led the Jazz to a first-round series win where they didn't have home court advantage against future Hall of Famers. However, he's elevated his game in each way since then. In 2020, he was absolutely untouchable in the playoffs, averaging 36 points per game, 5 rebounds and 5 assists on 53% from the field, 52% from 3 on 9 attempts a game, and 95% from the free throw line on 8 attempts a game. He shot 67% in the restricted area in that series, 53% on above the break threes, 57% on pull-up threes, and 47% on step-back threes across 7 games. He had 2 50-point games in that series, 3 games over 40 points, and dropped 57 points in Game 1. Fast forward to the 2024 playoffs, and the Cavs evidently relied on Donovan Mitchell due to the absence of Jarrett Allen and the fact that Darius Garland didn't look like himself after he suffered that broken jaw earlier in the season. This series saw him take 159 shots, with the next closest player on the team being Darius Garland with 89 shot attempts for the series. However, this was completely warranted as the Cavs had dry spells and really struggled to create much offensively. And just like a bell cow running back, Mitchell did everything in his power to drive his team to a series of wins. He remained aggressive, as that was the best way to create scoring opportunities for the team, and even dropped 50 points on 61% from the field and attempted just 6 free throw attempts in Game 6 against the Orlando Magic. The level of shot making on display in that game was completely absurd, and it seems like every shot that he took went in. Mitchell's playoff run did get cut short against the Celtics due to injury, but through the first 3 games of the series, he was putting up 32, 6, and 5 on 52% from the field and 53% from 3. In 2025, Mitchell in an All-NBA season guided the Cavs to 64 wins, their best record since LeBron's first stint in Cleveland, and also gave us playoff performances we'll never forget. Back-to-back 40-point games against the Pacers, baptizing Pascal Siakam, attacking the rim at will when his 3-point shot wasn't falling, and defying gravity are just some of his exploits. And again, the determination to put his team on his back due to Garland not looking like himself because he played through his toe injury and Mobley not being 100% just justifies his will of winning. The Cavs have yet to win a title in the Donovan Mitchell era, but with them having one of the best in the world in Spida, one of the best front courts in the game with Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley, a great point guard, and a coach who seemed to turn it around in Kenny Atkinson, the Cavs will be a serious player in the Eastern Conference yet again. With that being said, let me know your thoughts on Donovan Mitchell and him being one of the underrated superstars in the NBA. What's most impressed you about his play and his playoff performances, and do you see him winning a title in the near future? Plus, where would you rank him among the top players in the NBA? I personally have him in my top 10. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to know more about a hyper-athletic guard in the NBA, check out my video on Shaden Sharp and why he has the potential to be one of the best scorers in the league.